How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Randsanity, episode 222. Yes, I've been doing this for 222 days straight. I was joking the other day and I said, now, if I have done this weekly, I'd be like 4 years into this. Okay? So you have to go ahead and don't forget, you're supposed to, let's see, I can look at my notes. So I got my notes down here. You're supposed to like, share, follow, subscribe, and not in that order. Or whatever the fucking order you want. I don't really care. But like, share, follow, subscribe. That's what you're supposed to do. Oh, and you also have to go look at the shorts. There's shorts too. I'm getting stuck on TikTok at like 300. YouTube, I'm killing it. It's like 1,000 plus, 1,200, 1,500. But TikTok's just stumbling. So go watch the shorts on TikTok so I can get past this 300 mark and break their fucking algorithm. It's killing me. Killing me, man. I don't know where you're at, but I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and it was 65 plus degrees today, like 67 degrees. It was insane. I mean, it's insane. It's the fucking what? 9th of January, it was 67 degrees. No such thing as global warming. I went golfing today, all right? I actually was like, I'm not even working today. Screw this. And I went golfing. I worked a little bit later in the afternoon, but golfing, because it was just too freaking nice. Too nice. 67 degrees. January the 9th. I was like, I'm golfing. Screw this. I am not working anymore today. So I didn't. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so if you're your first time here, I talk about music and stuff. Bands, history, entertainment stuff. Things that happened in the past, things that are happening right now, things that will happen in the future when it comes to it. I'm not Perez Hilton, so I'm not all gossipy because I don't really give a crap about your gossipy crap. Unless it's really hot goss, then maybe I'll follow up on it a little bit. But otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. So I just tell it like it is, and I throw my own twist of particular crap along the way. So that's what you get. So if you hang out, you'll hear stuff that you might remember, or you'll just forget, or as we talked about it on, you'll get TikTok brain. You watch too many shorts, and you have no short-term memory. It's like the Men in Black mind wipe. You forget exactly what you're doing because you have no focus. None. All right, so remember, like, share, follow, subscribe. All of those things. All right? Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. All right, let's see. Where am I at? Okay, 3 minutes there. 8 minutes there. All right, I'm doing all right. I feel like I'm doing good, Preston. Am I doing all right, Preston? Preston's gone. Preston's left me. You left me, Preston. What the hell? JD's Tanks, what up? Yeah, that's just a dismantling right there. If you weren't watching any college football tonight, Indiana just destroyed Oregon's hopes of ever winning the national championship this year. Watch out, Miami. Indiana's coming for you. Anyway, all right, we're going to start off tonight with this band, Amy L. and the Sniffers. I first was introduced to Amy L. and the Sniffers in the year 2023. I actually went and saw them perform at the Newport Music Hall on October 22nd of 23. I was turned on to them. It was our show. We presented it from the Independent Playground. And they're a punk band from Australia. Amy Taylor's the lead singer. And holy crap, okay? These guys blew my fucking mind. They were awesome. They were so good. They were amazing. So I have Amy L. and the Sniffers news, updates, stuff. So I guess Amy's in the news right now because she's suing a photographer that I guess has been selling photographs of her that she said were exclusively for a Vogue catalog shoot. This photographer is now selling these prints as fashion, high fashion, whatever, and she's pissed and she doesn't want them for sale. So that's what's going on. But anyway, the band itself had this unlikely rise to the top of the pops as it continues. They dominated the Australian Record Industry Awards last year, winning Album of the Year, Best Group of the Year, Best Rock Album, and Best Cover Art for their album Cartoon Darkness. Okay? Miss Taylor is known for her energetic performances, and there's this signature style. Australian, you can say cheeky, all right? Funny, sexy, and punk as shit. Okay? I mean, you have to go see these guys to appreciate it. They are, I mean, they're political, they're funny, they're satirical, but they're punk. Okay? Let's not get it any other way. They're punk. So they're going to perform shows. They're actually going out on tour again. Now, unfortunately, I didn't see them in Columbus, Ohio, but they are going to be doing some things. And they've made it pretty big. They got a Grammy nod for You Should Not Be Doing That. It's a certified banger from Cartoon Darkness, so go check that out, okay? Some of the band's shows that they did, they've been opening for AC/DC. So when AC/DC comes to the shoe this summer, fingers crossed, because there's a big hole in their tour schedule. Now, their tour shows that they're going to be doing Toronto, Montreal, and then Philly, Boston, DC, St. Louis, Manchester, Tennessee at Bonnaroo. So if you're going to Bonnaroo, make sure you catch that show. Chicago, Omaha, Colorado, Red Rocks of all places, and then Minneapolis. So no Ohio date. That's their last shows in America. Then they show up in Europe a month later. So that window is available for them to open for AC/DC when they come here. If not, I might try and get them to see them somewhere else. But you got to go see it. I highly recommend the band Amy L. and the Sniffers. Okay? That is my pick for bands to go check out. New music if you haven't seen it. All right. There's my pick. Wally West. So my musical pick of Amy L. and the Sniffers, again, punk as hell. You're missing out if you don't go see them. I'm just going to tell you. Olympia all over Olympia. Yeah. All right, so let's go see what happened in history today. Rock history. We're going to go jump back in the time machine, as we normally do. I'm going to go all the way back to 1963. That's when Charlie Watts joined the Rolling Stones after leaving Blues Incorporated and his job working as a graphic designer. So on this date, the 9th of January, Charlie Watts joined the Rolling Stones. In 1965, the Beatles started a 9-week run at #1 on the U.S. album charts with the Beatles 65. It was the group's 4th #1. Beatles 65 included 8 of the 14 songs from the Beatles for Sale, and it also includes I'll Be Back from a Hard Day's Night and the single I Feel Fine, She's a Woman. It's not my favorite, but it's an all right Beatles album for me. In 1970, during a UK tour, Led Zeppelin appeared at the Royal Albert Hall in London, the night of Jimmy Page's 26th birthday. Well, that would be today, the 9th, because today is Jimmy Page's birthday. Look at that, I gave it away. Jimmy Page actually turns how old today? Jimmy Page is 82. Holy crap. John Lennon, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck were all in the audience. The 2.25-hour set was recorded and filmed but shelved for several decades and not released until 2003 on an official DVD. So if you want to see a 1970s Jimmy Page on his birthday, you can go find the 2003 released DVD of that Royal Albert Hall concert. Fashion faux pas again for Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger was refused a Japanese visa on account of a 1969 drug conviction, causing the Rolling Stones to cancel a forthcoming tour. Now see, that comes back to haunt them. You remember I've talked about how many arrests we've had from Nostradamus. What's going on there, buddy? How many arrests we've seen with the Rolling Stones as well as the Beatles. I don't know how these guys tour in some of these countries because they just don't let them in. It's the way it works. All right. 1976, Queen were at #1 on the UK singles chart with Bohemian Rhapsody. The single enjoyed a 9-week run on the chart, selling more than 1 million copies by the end of the month. It reached #1 again in 1991 for 5 weeks following Freddie Mercury's death, eventually becoming the UK's 3rd best-selling single of all time. Galileo Galileo, I've gotten to say that like 3 times, the jokes about that 3 times in the last couple days. Everything's to be around Queen right now, which is fine. I don't hate on that. It's all right, you know. Whitney Houston scored her 6th consecutive #1 in the United States with So Emotional on this date in 1988. All right, this gets the official Douche of the Day award. Randy Jackson from the Jackson 5. Not the Randy Jackson that says, "Not for me, dog." Not that Randy Jackson. The other Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson from the Jacksons of the Jackson 5 was charged with battery for beating his wife, Eliza Chafee, and their 7-month-old daughter. Where's my sound effects that can be like, boo, boo? Stevana. He pleaded no contest to the charge and was placed on 2 years probation and ordered to enroll in a domestic violence program. Oh, but wait, it gets better. In November of 1991, Jackson was arrested again after Chafee phoned the police to report that the beatings did not stop. He was sentenced to 30 days in a mental hospital in Canoga Park and ordered to serve the remainder of his probation and enroll in a year-long domestic violence rehabilitation program. Disappointed that Jackson received no jail time, Chafee filed for divorce. Good job, Chafee, and oh my God, you piece of shit, Randy Jackson. I then went on to read all about Randy Jackson and his bankruptcy and everything else that he's done. Wow. Definitely not the superlative Jackson 5 upstanding citizen award for you, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Gives Randy a bad name right there. 1997, David Bowie performed his 50th birthday concert bash. Well, that would have been the day after, since his birthday was actually on January the 8th, along with Elvis's, and today's January the 9th, so it would have been the day after his birthday bash. Anyway, he performed this at Madison Square Garden in New York. His guests were Frank Black from the Pixies, Sonic Youth, Robert Smith of The Cure, Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters, Lou Reed, Billy Corrigan of Smashing Pumpkins, and Placebo. Holy shit. I'm going to see David Bowie's birthday party again. Proceeds from the concert went to the Save the Children Fund. Yeah, see, those are the shows that when you get a chance to see something like that, just go. Go. More fabulous rock stars doing shady shit. The chauffeur who drove Puff Daddy and his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, from a nightclub after a shooting was reported to be cooperating with the prosecutors. Puff Daddy faced up to 15 years in jail for allegedly pulling a gun in a New York club. Uh-huh. Good job. Good job. Elvis Presley, in 2003, long after Elvis the Pelvis had died in 1977, a grand piano once owned by Elvis was sold for $685,000. Music producer Robert Johnson and partner Larry Moss sold the piano to the chairman of the Blue Moon Group, Michael Muzio, who was planning to take the piano on a casino-sponsored promotional tour. He was then planning for the piano to be shown at the proposed rock museum at Walt Disney World. Now, I don't know. Is there a rock museum in Walt Disney World? I have not checked that, so I would not know. Wally West, can you check that for me? Will you see if there is a rock museum? I'm waiting, Wally. That was your cue. That was your cue to jump in here. You're my secret producer tonight, Wally West. So I didn't know if there was actually a thing, so. Anyway, we'll get back to you and let you know if there was. More Elvis in the news. Elvis went to #1 on the UK single chart with Jailhouse Rock in 2005. Remember, he died in 1977. The single sold just 21,262 copies to reach #1, the lowest sale ever for a UK chart topper since data began in 1969. The single was released to celebrate the 70th anniversary of his birth. A previous Elvis chart topper was re-released each week. 21,000. I could sell 21,000 copies. Damn it. I could be number one on the UK chart by just selling 21,000 copies. You could buy that. I mean, what are you selling for $1 each? $21,000? You have a number one hit? Then you get all sorts of things out of it. Just saying. Wally West is still giving my answer. Come on, buddy. I was waiting on you, man. I want to know if there was a Walt Disney World music rock hall. Shocking news. Spice Girl Victoria Beckham was named the worst dressed celebrity in an annual list of fashion disasters. Now, that takes a lot, I'm betting, to be a fashion disaster, to get worst dressed. And by fashion critic Richard Blackwell, no less. Okay? I mean, this isn't like just some random dude like me saying, wow, she's a fashion disaster. This is Richard Blackwell. I mean, he's the authority of fashion disasters. He compiled a poll every year since 1960, and he said Beckham stepped out in one skinny mini monstrosity after another. One skinny mini monstrosity after another. Quote, unquote. Richard Blackwell. Number 2, though, was Amy Winehouse's trademark beehive and tattoos that helped her earn second place on the list. This is in 2008, by the way. I love that so much. I'm going to have to go now find the Richard Blackwell list from every year. I'm writing this down. I want to know his list right now. List. I will have that tomorrow. So tomorrow, if you come back, I start at 11. I'll make that the lead story. I will go from the last decade or so of all of the worst dressed celebrities by Richard Blackwell. Love that so much. Let's see. DD died. No, DD died. Dave D died. Dave D died. The guy's name is Dave D, and he died. So it's Dave D died. I'm going to leave it at that. We don't need to figure out why. I don't need to know his age. I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to say that Dave D died. Say that 3 times fast. Dave D died. Dave D died. Dave D died. There it is. 2014, Rolling Stone magazine published their readers' poll of the 10 greatest double albums of all time. The top 5 were Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, Bruce Springsteen's The River, Rolling Stone's Exile on Main Street, Pink Floyd's The Wall, and winning the poll was the Beatles with their 9th studio album and only double album released in November of 1968, The White Album. So that was 12 years ago. I keep forgetting it's 2026. So 12 years ago, that's when that came out. 12 years ago. 2015, Darren Partington. I don't know who Darren Partington was. Acid House Pioneers. Oh, 808 State. Oh, okay, that's why. I was like, wait, why didn't I know that? Darren Partington, a member of the 1980-99 band 808 State, was jailed for 18 months for dealing heroin and crack cocaine. Good job, Darren. The court was told how Parrington was pressured into dealing drugs after getting into debt with his own dealer. Aww, it sounds very circular. You do drugs, you get into debt with your dealer, and then you sell drugs to pay back your dealer. An Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, right? The Ouroboros, it just goes round and round. Very circular, very circular. 2016, stars paid tribute to Motorhead's frontman Lemmy at his funeral at Forest Lawn Memorial Cemetery. Motorhead drummer Mickey D, the Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl, Slash from Guns N' Roses, Robert Trujillo and Lars Ulrich from Metallica, Judas Priest Rob Halford, and Anthrax frontman Scott Ian all spoke at Lemmy's service. Lemmy's bass guitar was plugged into a stack of amplifiers and the volume turned up, with the congregation applauding as feedback from the speakers filled the chapel. Remember, if you ever saw it, he sung the Ace of Spades in 1981. He would hold the microphone up here and he'd sing, "The Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades!" I think I saw that on MTV once. It was the craziest thing ever. He's got he used to go to the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood. And there's a little plaque, Lemmy's room. I remember going there a couple of years ago when I was in LA for an event, and stopped in there. And yes, he was quite the Jack Daniels drinker, from what I was told. In 2020, English singer and songwriter Harry Styles at #1 on the U.S. chart with his second studio album, Fine Line. The album received a Grammy Award for Best Pop Solo and a Brit Award for the British Single of the Year for Watermelon Sugar. I've never heard that song in my life, and I don't plan on doing it. I just, it's Harry Styles. I'm not a Harry Styles guy. Just not my thing. Just saying, right? Massive artist, 27 Club, Winehouse. Yes, 27 Club. She is part of the 27 Club. Wally West, you never let me know if there's a Disney museum. I was waiting on you, man. You holding me up. Come on, Wally West. Is there a Disney rock and roll museum? In 2024, 2 years ago, American drummer James Cuddick was found dead in his bathroom in his home in Louisville, Kentucky at age 61. He was best known for his work with the German hard rock band Scorpions. He joined in 1996. At the time of his firing from the band in 2016, he was their longest-serving drummer. Cuddick was also an original member of the Kingdom Come. He also had his own band, the Cuddick, formerly known as Crunk. Other bands Cuddick played in were Montrose, Warrant, Wild Horses, and Macaulay Schenecker Group, as well as Buster Brown. Now, if he was found dead in his bathroom, it didn't say drug overdose or heart attack, so I'm assuming it was something nefarious. Was the Germans, yeah? I don't know. You never know. Now, on this day, other things that I did go and look and discovered. In 1967, the Monkees' second album, More of the Monkees, was released. Also, John Lennon's posthumously released in 1984 was Nobody Told Me. Nobody told me there's by days like these. Now, the other thing that was released on this date, January 9th, 1984, was Van Halen's 1984. Okay, Van Halen's 1984, if you've never listened to the entire thing, go do it. Go listen to Van Halen's 1984, okay? It was their most successful album, and it also is an absolute rock and roll experience. It is absolutely wonderful. I am a fan. I listened to the whole album tonight, again, when I was doing my research, and I turned it up pretty loud for a couple of songs because there's David Lee Roth and just Eddie Van Halen at their finest. It's when David was the guy could sing. I saw them a couple times in concert back in the day, and I'll tell you what, David Lee Roth definitely was able to really, really put on a show. He was quite the showman. This album has hit after hit after hit from 1984, okay? You've got Jump, all right, opening it up. Then you've got Panama, okay, which is, again, is an absolute rock star. Then you've got Hot for Teacher, which, just alone, the beat in that is just to go. You've got I'll Wait. Then you've got Top Jimmy, which I love Top Jimmy. Okay, it is just, for some reason, I don't know why, but it's probably one of my favorite songs off the album, to be honest. You've got Drop Dead Legs, which is another absolute killer. Then you've got Girl Gone Bad and House of Pain. All of those are just absolute hits from their 1984 album. So Van Halen, 1984, dropped on this day, January the 9th. So celebrating 94, 2014, holy shit, 42 years ago. Jesus. Half the people I know weren't even alive then. But that's all right. It still makes it a good album. Doesn't matter. In 1979, Kmart stopped and pulled Steve Martin's Let's Get Small album because they said for being in bad taste. So I had to look this up, though, because I was curious what the hell it actually meant. So Let's Get Small has the reference to, obviously, to get high, trip on acid, LSD, get small. But his joke was that, I got small, I was driving, and he's like, look through the steering wheel. I couldn't figure out why they said it was in bad taste. But apparently Kmart did not like it enough that they pulled it. So fuck you, Kmart, for pulling Steve Martin in 1979. You're fine now, but just back then. Just saying. All right. Let's see. Now, I had some other stuff, too, because I was looking at shows. Queens of the Stone Age is back out on tour this summer. I saw them when they came through Columbus a year or so ago. And I was like, okay, Queens of the Stone Age about, all right. I could see the Queens of the Stone Age, I guess. They're not a bad band. Are they coming through anytime soon? I'm kind of looking at the thing. And I'm like, holy shit. Queens of the Stone Age is playing with the Foo Fighters and Mannequin Pussy. What? Yes. So go Google it. Queens of the Stone Age concert schedule starts with the Foo Fighters in Toronto in August. Then they play Detroit, Michigan on August the 6th. They say Soldier Field August the 8th. And then they're playing August 10th in Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland, Ohio. I know where I'll be August the 10th. I am going to Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen. Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age, and Mannequin Pussy. Holy crap, that is a lineup. I highly recommend you go see it. They're also playing Philadelphia, Nashville, D.C., Fargo, and then they're headed back out of the country. So if you get a chance, I would say go look at them. They're going to play Vegas in September, but man, Midwest tour, that is going to be something for sure. Highly recommend going to see it. If you're a fan of the Queens and Foo, seeing those two together, you know there's going to be some crossover. No question about it. None. Oh, man, I'm excited for that one. Births and deaths today. Who was born? Who died? Born on this day, Joan Baez, 85 years old. Jimmy Page, as we said, from Led Zeppelin, 82 years old today. We also have Bill Cowsill of the Cowsills, who did the hair song, hair flowing, hair everywhere, beautiful hair. He would have been 78 today. He died in 06, though. Casey Gaines of Leonard Skinner would have been 78 today, but died in 1977 at a much younger age. David Johansen, also known as Buster Poindexter, born on this day. Part of the New York Dolls. Died in 25, just last year, at the age of 75. Crystal Gale is 75 today. We've got Phil Lewis of LA Guns, 69 today. I told that story. My first job ever was working at the longest running music club in the country, the Newport Music Hall in Columbus, Ohio. And my job was a bouncer. I'm 6'2", 200 plus pounds. So, I could handle my own. And I'll never forget that. LA Guns played a show there. And they're all, these little skinny rock guys. And there was a huge mob scene of people out back that were just waiting for them to come out after the show. And I had to walk each one of them one by one from the backstage door to the bus while the other security kind of held this mosh pit of crowd from attacking them because they all wanted their long hair. And it's just one of those very funny early experiences with the rock and roll lifestyle. L.A. Guns. Let me bang and say hello, 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 hello. Okay. Eric Earlson of Hole is 61. Dave Matthews, 59 years old. Man, I have a picture of me and Dave Matthews when he was a much younger man as well as I. It was definitely a few years ago. I think he was probably maybe in his 30s, 20s. I don't know. I was in my 30s or 20s, something like that. We were about the same age then, so much younger. Steve Harrell of Smash Mouth. He died in 23. He would have been 59 today. Ex-President Richard Nixon. He was in the music or the actor category for some reason. So I was like, all right. He died in 1994. And Lee Van Cleef of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He would have been the bad. He would have been 101 years old today. He died in 1989. Also, Bob Denver. Gilligan of Bob Denver fame. He got arrested for weed once. He would have been 91 years old today. He died 20 years ago in 05. 21 years ago in 05. J.K. Simons, 71 years old. That guy's a badass. Every time I see him in movies, the guy's 71 and he's ripped as fuck. I hope I can be 71 and that ripped. I hope I make it to 71, period. But holy crap, man. That guy is ripped. Must have good trainers out there in Hollywood. All right, we talked about deaths today. James Connick of Scorpions died at 61 in 24. And Bob Saget, comedian Bob Saget, he died of a head injury. I don't know what that means, died of a head injury. It's something in his dressing room. I forget what it was, but he would have been 70 today. If you look at Bob Saget's shit toward the end, he went blue, man. He was way, way dirty and dark. I think he got just tired of the Olsen twins and just being America's favorite video guy. Just makers, what, APV, America's Funniest Videos. He just became dark and blue as he got older. You have to watch some of his shit. It's just raw. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what I got here. Anything else? I have one more show announcement that you might want to catch if you're a fan. The band Interpol. All right. Interpol is going to be making a couple stops in the United States. Only a few. Okay. They're just very brief. They're starting in March 7th and they're ending May 8th. They're going to play Florida. They're going to play Sacramento, El Paso, Albuquerque. They're going to play Coachella in Indigo in April, Phoenix, Kansas City, and New Kensington, PA, of all things. So, and I mean, if I'm looking at the ticket counts, they've got some tickets left in like Florida, but there's 4 tickets left for PA show. There's 8 tickets left for Kansas City. There's a couple tickets left in like New Mexico, like 50 tickets left in Sacramento. So if you want to catch Interpol, either buy your tickets today if you live nearby, or you're going to wind up having to get these things off StubHub or a reseller because they're selling fast. But definitely a band to go see. They're going to have special guests, the Black Angels, with them. So again, not hard decision to make. If you live in one of those cities and you like Interpol, go see them. Buy your tickets now. Just saying. All right. I'm going to take a sip of my Topo Chico. It's not in the bottle, but it's still Topo Chico. It's the flavor. It's that raspberry. You can't hate Topo Chico. Just saying. Oh. And I'm not sponsored by Topo Chico. I'd like to be. Try Topo Chico in a can. It's so good for you. Did that work for a sponsorship deal? Is Topo Chico on board now? Is the offers flying in? Wally West, you never let me know. Come on, man. It is the Disney Music Museum. I remember that day I had. Yep. David Lee. Yep. Bring back Sarumba. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, did you get your shirt finally? Did you get your shirt, Obi? Did you finally get your shirt? Yes, I would love to bring some of those bands to Rumba. Right. Interpol comes to Rumba Cafe, Columbus, Ohio. It's like, what, 80 people standing room only? I need to bring them to a bit of a larger venue. Just saying. All right. So I think that's about it. Again, the music industry is slow this time of year. I talked to my buddy in Chicago today, and he has probably been my most ardent supporter when it came to getting special treatment by bands and stuff over the years. He always had the in. I mean, you name it, and he was able to make it happen when it came to bands. So I was talking to him about a couple of shows that are coming through this summer that I've sort of mentioned. So I'm definitely going to do a little traveling and catch some of these shows because, some of these bands are just, you don't want to miss them. If Amy L is going to not open up for AC/DC here, I definitely want to catch that somewhere else. It's like the band Turnstile. If you've never seen the band Turnstile, I have to say that I first got turned on to them. One of my buddies who's a prosecutor of all things, okay? A city prosecutor was like, oh my God, I see this band Turnstile. I'm like, well, I don't really know anything about them. Blah, 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 blah. We went and saw the show, and I'm going to tell you what. They absolutely were just door knockers. Just blew them off the hinges. I could not believe we were sitting in the balcony and the entire floor was one big mosh pit. I mean, this is like a 3,000 person venue. So the floor is probably 1,800, close to 2,000 people. And it was just one giant, absolute mosh pit. It was amazing. I saw them play and they opened for Blink 182. Wasn't as impressed because they weren't headlining. But yeah, again, Turnstile, one of those shows where I'm telling you, Amy L and Sniffers, go see these bands. These are shows that you don't want to miss. You want to catch these bands on their way up because the energy from them is so real, so raw. It's just that is what you want to see in live music. Okay, that is the action you want to see. So good stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns while you're standing here? I'm right here with all the musical trivia you could possibly want to know about, or not, because I don't know shit. I spent way, way, way too many years in concert venues, way too many years behind the bar, and way, way, way too many decibels bleeding my ears. Just saying. Besides that, it is Friday night, so I'm sure that people want to get out, go do some fun stuff. Go watch your late night TV shows and whatever else you need to do. Me, on the other hand, I am going to go listen to some rock and roll music. And then I'm going to go get up nice and early tomorrow. Not even close. And I think I'm going to do tile work tomorrow. Yes. Yes. I'm going to put down large format tiles on a kitchen. That's what I'm going to do, and I get paid exorbitant amounts of money to do it, no less. Yes, I am. That's going to be a weekend hobby. I'm going to make some money doing tiles this weekend because I did not go see a show, and I'm going to see G-Love next week, though, so I'll give you all the scoop on that. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. And remember, tomorrow night, my first report is going to be what? My first report is going to be on Richard Blackwell's worst dressed list for the last 2 decades. I'm definitely going to find that and find out who the best, worst celebrities are. So, I hope you had fun. Hope you learned something knowledgeable. Episode 222 of Randsanity. Tomorrow will be episode 223 on January the 10th, 2026. The year of our Lord, 2026. And there's Lucy. What up, Luce? Angie the activist. Slimy Potato's back. I see Slimy Potato. I believe Slimy Potato was here the other day. Nice to see you, Slimy Potato. So yes, I will get Richard Blackwell's list of the worst dressed for the past few decades. just because I love the fact that people are mocked for what they wear. And I'm wearing brand new blue jeans tonight. So look at this. I'm actually not in pajamas tonight. Oh, you can't see that far down? Look, see, you can see a leg. Look, I have jeans on, see? Normally I'm wearing pajamas because, hey, I can do that. I'm in my basement studio, so I can wear pajamas. So don't forget, remember I'm supposed to tell you all these things? You have to like, subscribe, follow, share, and please, I've got shorts. I started doing shorts again, so if you want to see any of the action from other things, go do it. Especially on TikTok. Go watch those and just go hit the button a few times. I'm getting stuck in like the 300 zone. YouTube's, I'm like way over 1,000 and just doing fine on YouTube, but for some reason, TikTok has put me into TikTok jail. So share those things and make people watch them so I can get out of TikTok jail. It's embarrassing, I'm telling you. I don't know what's happening, Richard Lincoln. You tell me, Brandon Heck and Angie the Activist. Still waiting on Wally West to give me that answer, but you know, I'll survive without it. That's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll all get through it one way or another. Nice. Amy L with a hug. Nice. Yes, Amy L and the Sniffers. That's my recommendation for a show tour to see this summer, as well as Interpol, as well as Queens of the Stone Age with Foo Fighters. They're all coming through this summer. So there's just 3 recommendations for some bands you want to go see. Some rock and roll, and some serious punk rock and roll. All right? Perfect. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Remember, like, share, subscribe, follow, and go watch videos on TikTok just so you can get some numbers past the 300 mark. All right? Appreciate you all. Love you dearly. Very grateful. Thank you so much. As per usual, I will switch cameras. I will come over here and I will say adieu, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen. Buenas noches, and hustle bandana. Look for me again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Friday night, and I'll see you all on Saturday. Fade to black.